Heart's Delight Stories from San Jose is the topic of this current art exhibit over here. And what I at least try to do every week is do that. And for those of you that may not be familiar, this is an anthology of the column or the page that I write in the newspaper every single week. And the one I've written every week for 20 years now. That's a different story every week. And this came out a few years ago. And what I think I can start with is there's a story in here that is about the time that I tried out for Jeopardy and failed miserably. And it was at a time when I was living right upstairs above the front doorway of this building. So this is 25 years ago. And I was basically paying my friend $200 a month to live on a mattress in his living room while I sat there and drunkenly typed all this self-psychoanalysis into Microsoft Word for a couple of years straight. And that's strangely how I turned into, or part of how I turned into a writer. Okay, so many years after that, after I had gotten sober, okay, when the World Jeopardy record holder, Ken Jennings, some of whom you probably have seen, when he put a book out and was doing an author event up at Kepler's in Menlo Park, I had to write a column. This was like 2019 or so. So I had to write a column and talking about the time where I remember just drunkenly flying down to Los Angeles and trying out for Jeopardy because I just wanted to win $34,000, whatever would get me the hell out of San Jose forever. So this is that story. I just got to go find it in the index, and I think I know where it is. The book, you could even follow along, although I'm probably going to improvise a little bit. Okay. So this is me writing. So this is me in about 2018 or 19, telling the story of when I did this long earlier. Okay. In 2004, Ken Jennings became the hero of trivia nerds worldwide by winning 74 games in a row on the TV quiz show Jeopardy! Next Tuesday, June 12th, he will appear in conversation at Kepler's Books in Menlo Park. Like Jennings, I grew up watching an inordinate amount of game shows and was a full-blown trivia nerd in elementary school. I knew every baseball stadium in the US, every world capital, and tons of rock trivia. The very presence of Ken Jennings here in Silicon Valley takes me back to the years 1999 and 2000 when I tried out for both Jeopardy and Rock and Roll Jeopardy during one of the more desperate times in my life. Here's what I remember. Late 1999, I'm living literally right above that door, the front doorway of this building. I took an 8 a.m. flight out of San Jose wearing a gray sport coat, a black dress shirt, and a wild Italian tie. I still have that tie, by the way. I nearly missed the 6 a.m. alarm I'd set because I was among those who closed Cinnabar at 2 a.m., which was right around the corner. Yet somehow I woke up, got dressed, and eventually landed at LAX at 9:04 a.m., completely still drunk from the night before. I was going broke and determined to win $40,000 or whatever it took to get me out of San Jose forever. At LAX, I asked an old German lady at the information booth to find out which shuttle took me outside to the terminals to the street buses. From there, I caught the number 6 bus, which went straight up Sepulveda Boulevard toward Culver City. At Washington Boulevard, I transferred to the number 1, which took me right to Sony Picture Studios, the home of Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. I was the only person dressed up on either bus. By then it was nearing straight up high noon, and there was nothing in the vicinity except a lonely strip mall where I luckily found a Thai restaurant. After a plate of spicy lard guy and 2 Singh beers, it was probably 3, I wandered over to the side entrance of the Sony complex. This was Los Angeles, and normally everybody drove, so there were no other pedestrians within miles of any direction. And here I was walking through the gate and into the mega campus. Various studios and buildings comprised the whole of the complex, but I knew where to go. Outside the studio, I sat there on a green bench where a crowd of maybe 20 others were congregating and also waiting to take the initial Jeopardy test. One guy was flipping through a world almanac, attempting to study. Another lady was going over some geography notes that she had conjured up beforehand. Then a plastic SoCal Baywatch-looking dude rolled up in a motorized cart and instructed us to follow him down to Studio 16 where they filmed the show. Forgive me. Like lambs to the slaughter, we obliged and followed. Inside, we sat in the same chairs where the audience normally sat during a taping of the show, and we were given worksheets to answer the upcoming questions. A slideshow of Alex Trebek played on the screen explaining what was about to happen. We were then bombarded with 50 questions in 13 minutes, with only a few seconds to write down each answer before the next question appeared on the screen. Whoever answered 35 out of 50 advanced to the next round of the vetting process. Questions were like, who was nicknamed the Desert Fox? Which country is bordered only by Russia and China? Which French phrase, literally meaning bottom of the bag, refers to a short dead-end street? Cyrano de Bergerac was in love with who? In the end, I didn't answer 35 questions correctly. It's much, much more difficult than watching it on TV. That was December of 1999. 1 year later, I took the same trip to LA and failed all over again while trying out for Rock and Roll Jeopardy. I knew which band John Entwistle had joined in 1962, a question many of the Gen Zers, or many of the younger kids sitting next to me didn't know at all, but I couldn't answer a damn thing about Oasis trivia. Once again, I came home rejected and forlorn. Ken Jennings commands a staggering amount of knowledge, but fortunately or unfortunately, by the time he came onto the scene in 2004, I had a newspaper job and a different life. I could write about laundromats, gas stations, or the blighted wastelands of my hometown, a much more trivial pursuit. So,